And here's what's new regarding Decision 2024. President-elect Trump has made his first staffing decision for his next administration, choosing Susie Wiles as his chief of staff. Now, she was a key player in the effort to get Donald Trump elected, and she'll become the first woman ever to hold that position. NBC's Alice Barr live in Washington for us, so I want to ask her, what do we know, Alice, right now about the thought that went into this choice?
Christy, yeah, this is someone that certainly President-elect Trump has a long relationship with, and we know that loyalty is very important to him. She's been with him for a long time, going back to shortly after January 6th, when a lot of people were turning away from the now president-elect. She was with him working on this next campaign from that time. She's widely respected among some of the maybe more stalwart Washington brand conservatives, as well as the more Trump infused portion of the Republican Party. So she will now have that historic first White House woman chief of staff. And that comes as the Trump team is moving ahead with the transition work for his next term, while Democratic leaders are doing some soul searching over this resounding win.
As the incoming Trump administration starts taking shape, the president-elect naming his co-campaign chair, Susie Wiles, as the first female White House chief of staff, praising her on election night.
Susie likes to stay sort of in the back, let me tell you. The Ice Maiden, we call her the Ice Maiden.
And while the transition team weighs options for other cabinet roles, from members of Congress to Trump insiders, the current Justice Department is evaluating how to wind down the 2 federal criminal cases against President-elect Trump to comply with department policy against prosecuting a sitting president. Special counsel Jack Smith today asking the judge in the January 6th election interference case to pause the process for a month until Smith formally requests next steps. President-elect Trump has said he would fire Smith after taking office. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell says he is not going anywhere. With his term running until May of 2026, he was firm that Mr. Trump can't legally fire him.
If he asked you to leave, would you go?
No.
And in a phone interview with NBC News, President-elect Trump calling a strong and powerful border one of his top priorities, saying his administration would have no choice but to carry out his campaign trail promise of mass deportations of undocumented migrants, and that there is no price tag.
El pueblo unido.
Immigrant rights protesters in Manhattan pushing back, while the president-elect tells NBC News he believes he has a mandate to bring common sense back to the country. His election victory growing today as NBC News calls Nevada for Mr. Trump the latest swing state he flipped back in a decisive win.
And the Department of Justice today charged an Iranian man in a murder-for-hire plot to assassinate then-candidate Donald Trump, the department calling it part of Iran's efforts to exact revenge for the death of an Iranian military leader during the first Trump administration. Christy?
Well, all right, Alice, we appreciate it as always. Thank you.